Welcome, everybody, to After Hours. We called it Universe Extended, Book of Boba Fett, Episode 3. This is where we get to wax poetic about all the new Star Wars shows, books. It's 100% uncensored, especially because I've been drinking throughout the night, so there is not going to be censorship involved. And because we probably all have some pretty strong opinions about the show. With that being said, thank you all. If you have not watched the new Boba Fett, do not stick around. This is not going to be spoiler free. This is 100% spoiler additives. With that being said, joining me tonight is JJ and Charles. How are you tonight, guys?
Good.
Going strong.
Going strong, even with that tea. Drink some of that. You should put a little whiskey in that tea, man. It'll help with your throat there.
Yeah, definitely.
I just like the whiskey straight up, but, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, I'm actually short on liquor. I need to get some more. Christmas wiped me out, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I know how that is. All right, so this week we had a little bit different Book of Boba Fett. A lot less flashback, a lot more meat and substance. But at the same time, there was some weird additives and then some chase scenes that I just didn't understand. So why don't we go around the room and everybody give their opinion. So JJ, if you want to start.
First off, seeing Milton from Office Space come in requesting help from Boba, that was gold. I loved it.
Okay, he's in more than Office Space.
Yes, I know. He's more than Office Space, but I was
he's the guy with the Asian wife in Dodgeball.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So
he's in a lot of other things than that too.
I'm just trolling. I was just trolling.
All right,
I just really wanted him to threaten to burn down the building if he didn't get his request. That's what I really wanted, and that would have been perfect.
They took my red swoop bike. I'm gonna burn down the
exactly.
If I don't get my red swoop bike back.
So yeah, that was particularly great. Okay, so my one big besides I'm gonna leave the chase scene for you guys here, but my one big thing is that you have a giant black Wookiee, right? He's big, he's very visible. Right?
I think you're assuming his racial identity.
No, I'm talking about his color of his fur and everything, right? So I get that it adds to his stealth, at night when he's coming in, but how the hell did you break in through the palace and get right to the freaking back to tank and pull him out with nobody noticing?
You're a Wookiee.
People have to sleep. Look. So I ran this in D&D. You can run you could run a rogue orc and just spec every single point into intimidation. You don't have to be stealthy. You just have to convince them through your intimidation roll that they didn't see you. So literally at this point, no one is loyal to Boba other than Fennec Shand, right? Yes, he's got friends, but no one's loyal. So if I'm a street urchin guy and I'm sitting in my room, my newly acquired room from my mob boss, and I look up and I see a 3-meter tall Wookiee with gladiator armor on. I didn't see a 3-meter tall Wookiee with gladiator armor on. I'm going to go back about what I'm doing.
Sound the alarm, maybe? Or how about this? In Return of the Jedi, there's a giant eyeball droid that verifies people that come in and out of the palace. Where the hell is that droid?
Yeah, that's right. You're right. I forgot about that.
They're not using it clearly because they have the little white droid that does absolutely nothing other than act angry most of the time.
He's AP5 scum.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Oh, I can't wait till we get that card. That'd be good. All right, so my take's really weird, because I really want to like this show a lot. I really want to. I really like Boba Fett. I love Mandalorian stuff. I've really enjoyed a lot. I enjoyed Bad Batch, right? And a lot of people don't. I am having a really hard time with this show. There's a lot of reasons, but the big reason I'm having a hard, he is a horrible actor. Fucking Boba Fett is just a shit fucking actor. I'm sorry. Like, I'm super unimpressed with him as an actor. Like, like in The Mandalorian, it worked out fine, but all of a sudden now we get his own show, and it's like, do you not know how to stand up for, like, what's going on? Like, okay.
Do you think that he would be a better actor if he just kept the helmet on?
Probably, because I would have to see his face. Yeah. But yeah, yes, because what did he do?
At that point, he's just James Earl Jones, right? He's just a voice actor at that point.
Thank you. That's fine with me. Look, what did he do with the water guys, right? Did you steal the water? That's a crime. Oh my God, that is the worst dialogue writing I've ever seen. That's worse than Mando, just with his weird little lines. Like, this is like, you stole water. Oh, but hold on, I'm going to give you a chance to explain. And, oh, now I'm going to side with you. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, are you here to be, like, okay, and this is going to, I'm really sad to say this, but the guy that played Colin, I can't remember his name. He was in Justified. He was
oh yeah, I know he's on.
Oh God, I can't remember that.
He was
name.
He was a marshal in Mando. That's what he's on.
Yes. Yep. And he played Colin, right? And he is an insanely better actor. I wouldn't want him as Boba Fett per se, but like, he played a better Boba Fett than fucking this new guy does. And
so
I'm sorry.
So I can't say he's a bad actor. I can say he's been given shit lines.
The way he's bringing the lines together is horrible. Like, I feel nothing. Like, you can't come up to these water people and be like, you're breaking the law. Oh, but oh, you have a sob story. Okay, I agree with it. Oh, and then this guy comes running out, and it's like, what is this guy even doing here? Is he setting Boba up? Is this a setup? Like, what the fuck? Why are you fucking here? And then all of a sudden, I swear to God, Boba goes, I don't like that guy, therefore these guys are cool. And then, like, it's the whole discussion about there's no jobs, there's nothing. Like, I get the water gouging, right? Like, I get that. But Boba is so fucking clueless about anything. And then he just goes, he literally was in his palace, somebody bitched about it, and he decided, I'm going to wear my helmet, go take care of it. He gets there, decides his helmet's too much work to keep on, and takes it off. And it's like, no, your helmet is very important if you get in a fight. What is wrong with you? You know, like,
do you know what this is? Do you know what this is? So I'm going to step in for a second and say that probably within the three members of this podcast, I am the largest Mandalorian / Boba Fett fan of the three of us. I think I have firmly cemented that.
Yeah.
Here is what I think this is. In my head, this is the canon that I've created, and it's the only thing that's keeping me interested in the show right now. This is just like that asshole at work that lies on his application to get a promotion and then gets into the job and realizes, holy fuck, this is nothing like what I thought it was, and I have no idea what I'm doing. When he was a bounty hunter, and all he had to do was shoot and fucking freeze people and didn't have to care about the rules because all he cared about was completing the mission and getting paid. Then he sees this big slug bastard and is like, hey, that looks good. All he does is sit there and eat, and he doesn't have to do anything, and he gets paid. That's a lot easier than what I'm doing. He has no fucking clue what he's doing. He's a great bounty hunter. He's a shit crime lord. And he wants to make everybody happy. That's not how crime works.
Well, and
watch The Godfather. Can someone send him a copy of The Godfather?
I mean, and please, to be fair, this is what Fennec has been telling him. It's like things will go a lot better if you just accepted
their ways. Be an asshole. Be who you are. Stop trying to be the nice guy. That's not who you are. That's not who you ever been.
And then that goes back to our discussion last week, where I have a harder time with this whole thing, right? Because it's like they're going to try to churn Boba Fett around. It's going to be this whole thing. Like, at this point, the best thing they could do is kill his ass off in 6 episodes or 4 episodes, whatever we have left, right? Like, because, like, this is a travesty. Like, and maybe you're right. Maybe it's because they're trying to force something that had not a lot of background, not a lot of, ability to understand where he was in the universe, and put him in a position that he doesn't belong, which, again, begs the question of why the fuck did he walk into the palace, shoot whatever his name was, and decide he's going to be the new crime lord? He could have just shot him and wiped out crime. He could just wipe out. He doesn't have to be anything. And he just does not have to be that. How about this? I'm sick of being on Tatooine, but I'm really sick of having to sit here and do this. And then they have the awkward thing where the Hutts come back and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna give you a Rancor." What? Why are you giving him a Rancor? Unless that Rancor is gonna eat him. Is that what it's gonna do? Like, is this guy gonna train him? And I'll tell you what, Danny Trevino or Trevedo, whatever you say his last name. Trejo. Yeah. I love that guy. That guy is one of my favorite actors, by the way.
I don't trust him.
I don't trust him either, though.
Fucking crazy shit up his sleeve with that fucking Rancor.
Yes, and he's crazy as shit too, right? He's a crazy motherfucker. We had a whole dialogue sequence about how to train a Rancor. It's like, why? Why do I need this? We had a little bit of that in Rebels. We just don't need this. And if the Hutts think this is going to be worse. If the Hutts think that Danny's going to train this Rancor to kill Boba Fett, and then Boba Fett's going to win, and he's going to be like, "Oh, I actually trained the Rancor myself, and I'm a Rancor master now. Let me ride this motherfucker, and you're all going to get eaten." It's stupid. It's a stupid trope. It's like, what the fuck? Like, I can see this a mile away. It's awful. It's just awful. It's like these people had all of 2020 to write a script and couldn't fucking do it. Like, I feel I could hire Charles to write a better script. Like, there's so many more interesting points to Boba Fett than this. I'm sorry. Like, the Mando being this guy I'm collecting bounties and falls in love with a child, and now I have to help the Jedis. Right? That's kind of a stretch. I'm not super great. That's not the best thing in the world, but it was a really good, well-written, 2 seasons. Boba Fett is not coming in being well written at all. And fine, maybe he's a good actor. I don't know what he's in other than this. I'll have to look that up and watch other movies. But I'm telling you, like, this is not drawing me in. The best part of this is the Pikes. I'm sorry. Like, I'm excited by the Pike Syndicate. I'm really excited to see the Pike Syndicate all of a sudden become something. That's how he should be.
That's how he should be. Like, do an episode where he says, "Fuck it, I can't figure this shit out." And we have a whole episode of him just sitting in the background and watching the Pike Syndicate run this shit.
Yeah.
And him taking notes on a little data pad like, "Oh, that's how to be an asshole." Like, fuck it, do that.
Yeah. Because the Pikes, like, if you look back at the Clone Wars and the involvement the Pikes had, like, they're going to try and actually develop the Pikes to be a bigger part of Star Wars, I think. Right? And I think that's great because what I wanted, and this is what I wanted from Boba Fett versus what I'm getting. I wanted a deep storyline. I don't need Boba as a crime lord. I don't need that. I don't need a bunch more Hutts that come in here. I don't need a whole mob boss where we're going to have mob wars. I don't need that. What I want is a development of a intricate networks between all these different scummy characters, right? If the best thing out of this, if we get a deeper dive into what the Pike Network is, or Syndicate is, I'm excited by that. That's great. Where's my Black Sun Network next, right? Are we going to have any remnants at all from, the, damn it now. We did all this shit for the show and I can't remember. But from Maul's network, right? From his
Crimson
Syndicate.
Dawn.
Crimson Dawn. Do Crimson Dawn ever come back?
I do think we'll see Kira. If I'm calling my shot now, I do think sometime between now and the end of the season, maybe that'll be like the cliffhanger at the end of season 1 is we'll see Kira in the Reigns of Power.
That was my hope for this episode, that they start introducing Crimson Dawn and Kira specifically as the masterminds behind all the attacks that have gone on so far. Like them using like other syndicates to fight each other and just like puppeteering everybody. I was hoping that they would like at least lead into that, but then like you look at canon so far for what they have for the Hutts, the Hutts are like, "Oh well, we're gonna offer this as tribute because we're not gonna want to get involved in a war and stuff like that." I'm like, you have like entire freaking fleets that you can muster to like fight off like any rival syndicate. Like I don't understand why all of a sudden you're backing off on the Pike Syndicate unless they magically grew in like size and power over the time of 7 years.
You're missing the play, man. You're missing the play.
What am I missing?
Here's the thing, right? So think about this from any crime movie that you've seen where the bad guy fights the bad guys. Right? So right now we have 3 bad guys. We have the Hutts, which are bad guy number 1, right? We have the Pikes, which are bad guy number 2, and this is in order of power and importance. And then you have Boba Fett, that's like bad guy number 10, right? Like all he has is Tatooine. That's it. A desert, backwater ass desert planet.
And 1 ship.
Yep, and one ship, right? So right now that's all he's got. So if the Hutts get involved, they piss the Pikes off, which creates a war, right? Bloodshed is bad for business. If the Hutts kill Boba, they piss off the Pikes, or they rub the Pikes wrong. So what do the Hutts do? Okay, we'll appease this little guy. We'll give him some small monetary gift that means absolutely nothing in the long run. Let him raise the Rancor. Let him pay to feed the Rancor. Let him do all of this. Let him piss off the Pikes. Let the Pikes murder him. Then the palace is open. The Pikes don't want Tatooine anyway. So then we'll move in with the Rancor already trained and in the pit. It didn't cost us anything. And if by some chance Boba wins over the Pikes or whatever, then we flex that power. You know what I mean? Then we do. But what benefit is there of the major crime family to get involved in underling in fights? Let them fight it out between them. That's the play, right? They're playing the game. They're playing the game that they've done for centuries. They're Hutts. This is who they are. Like, oh, we'll play nice and we'll make you think that we're backing off. That's why Fennec doesn't trust it. That's why Fennec's like, oh, nope, they're still going to come at you. Like, you still got to do your thing. You got to flex your muscle. Boba is when he was a bounty hunter, he was a big fish in a small pond because there was like 7 of them and he was the baddest mofo on the planet as long as he was working for somebody else. He is now a very small fish in a very large pond, and there are a lot bigger fish. To quote Qui-Gon, there's always a bigger fish. Always. And so that's what we're seeing. Like, I hate it because Boba Fett's he's always been that badass. He's a fish out of water right now. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
So my question is then, right? Like, if you're obviously concerned about maintaining control of your empire with assets, why do you let the Wookiee go? Why not offer him a job? He's obviously a bounty hunter who's willing to work for hire. Why not start recruiting more and more people?
You know what? Hold on. I'm just going to do this for the rest of this episode because it's going to answer every fucking question. You ready?
I swear, if you write plot armor, I'm gonna laugh. He has
no clue. He has no clue. He has no clue. I'm just going to hold this up because this is going to answer every question we have. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. That's why. It's the reason the Gamorreans lived. It's the reason that he didn't take care of the Power Ranger crime family.
Well,
and
that's
slowest speeder bikes on the history of this.
So that's the reason. That's the reason why I asked why he didn't ask them, because he kept the Gamorreans.
90-year-olds at Disney on hover rounds that went faster than those stupid bikes. Anyway,
first of all, they were created by 1999 Apple Incorporated at the same time when they made those colorful computers. Anyway, he keeps the Gamorreans alive. He hires the Power Ranger biker people, right? So he's obviously looking to include more and more people, so that way, in essence, it extends his will out to help control what little empire he has left. Why would you not keep a powerhouse like the Wookiee at your side? Because you obviously know that you're going to get more and more attacks, right? It's already proven.
Because he tried to kill him, and it's an ego thing. That's all this is, which is dumb. It's shit writing.
So here's the thing with the Gamorreans, right? Everybody, they're dumb, right? They're dumb. It's just one of those things where he underestimates their intelligence because everybody underestimates their intelligence, right? With the biker kids, I think that was just a matter of they're expendable. I can try and influence them to get them to like me, and then if they die, no one cares because the water guy doesn't care. I don't care. I can send them to do my bidding and blah blah blah.
So
with the Wookiee's already shown that he's out for money, and Boba Fett knows how that plays because that was him.
Yep. And if Deslin's right and he's looking to hire local people, what he's doing is setting up a way to transition everything back to the people. And if that's this whole show, I will tell you right now, I will never in my life watch this again, because not only is it like the most bullshit trope in movie fucking phenomena, you know, all this stuff, like it's unneeded. Like, Star Wars, stop doing this shit. You don't need to have some savior come in and then give us this, oh, we're gonna give you everything back to the people, blah blah blah. Like, I get it. That's what Star Wars has been. That's not Boba Fett, and you didn't do no goddamn character development to demonstrate that this is where Boba Fett's gonna be. Like, I don't. Like, I don't. Like, oh man,
he's a local business owner. He only wants to hire local people, no outside hires.
And Tuskens will own it by the end of the show. Hey, you know what? Fine, do it, and let's move on and get Boba Fett the fuck off the screen, because you don't know how to write for Boba Fett. Like, he would have been better off being a bounty hunter for hire. That was like Ahsoka.
I'm holding out hope that this turns a corner at some point and gets interesting. I think the hardest part that I have with this, and this is me again, diehard Boba Fett fan for almost 40 years of my life. With Mando, we had zero expectation, right? Mando had the capability and the benefit of being the first person out of the gate, right? So Mando got to set the expectation of what to expect. It got to set the script writing, and it set that bar high. Then we have the Book of Boba Fett. This is not an unknown. This is not a character where you get to build from scratch. This is not a character that no one cares about, and you get to build that care. This is a beloved, like, lore character that has more merchandise than just about anyone save possibly Darth Vader and potentially Darth Maul from the prequels. This is the money-making generation for the bounty hunter collective. If you asked, hey, what's the name of that bounty hunter? And yeah, more merchandise than time on screen. Exactly, Deslin. But if you ask a casual Star Wars fan, who's that bounty hunter from Empire Strikes Back? Oh, Boba Fett. Everybody knows him. This is not... They are trying to build this character like they did the Mandalorian, and nobody wants that. And I think that's the problem we're having, is they're trying to establish a care. I don't want to care about Boba Fett. He's supposed to kill people.
I do want to care about it. I disagree with you on that. I do want to care about him, but I don't want to care about him in the light that I want to make him a savior. He doesn't need to be that person. He doesn't need to be
care about him the same way that I care about the Venom symbiote.
Which one?
But yeah. And which universe?
From the most recent movies with
Tom Hardy.
What is his name? With Tom Hardy. Thank you.
Technically, Carnage is a Venom symbiote, but anyway.
I'm talking about Venom itself. Venom itself. Like, we're not going down that road. I'm just saying, like, that's how much I want to care about Boba Fett. I don't.
Yeah.
I disagree a little bit. I think there could be character and story development. I just think that they're taking this in its dumb direction. And I think this is a lazy way. Like, I think you said it last week, Charles, this is a prequel to Mandalorian 3, right? This is filler. This is giving us something else. A lot of people were complaining about Hawkeye. I liked Hawkeye personally in a Marvel universe. I enjoyed that aspect of it. I'm not enjoying Boba Fett though. And I will tell you, Hawkeye has some dilemmas. There is some issues. There is some unresolved issues. There is some bad story writing to some extent. But Hawkeye delivered on 3 times what Boba Fett's giving me nothing. I want to care about Tusken Raiders, but I don't need a bounty hunter savior. I need a bounty hunter that's a bounty hunter. Why did we like him? Why did he help Mando? Did he help Mando because of the fucking green kid? No, he wanted his fucking armor back. He made a commitment, and he lives and dies by his commitment. That's it. Once he made his commitment and he saw it through to the end, he was done.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the commitment to Tatooine? Right? He didn't have a commitment to Tatooine.
The
Where's
Tuskens
Kellen?
are dead. He's not committed to the Tuskens anymore. They're dead.
Yeah, they're all. You're right. They're all dead.
They're all
Spoiler
dead.
alert.
There's no commitment to
They're
the
dead.
Tuskens. There's no. We did the spoiler alert at the beginning episode. None of that nonsense. We told them we were gonna fucking spoil shit. If they're still here, I don't care. They're to their memory, Deslin.
To their memory. All right. I've had enough. I'll be honest. I'm sorry. I think this episode was put together improperly. I think there was some good parts to the show. I can tell you right now, the chase scene was the literal worst thing in the world. I don't understand. If you're
gonna have a chase scene, at least make it look like the camera guy can't run faster than what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like a camera guy with a decent cardio regimen is outrunning these bikes.
Yeah,
like Mike, like legit those stupid little the hoverboards that were like huge a couple years ago in Walmart or whatever. Like,
yeah,
those were fast. I've seen those move faster than what those bikes were. And here's the other thing. Forgive me. The bikers that were in the bar that he went and just wrecked their shit, right? Those bikes were badass looking.
yes, they were.
These bikes looked the same. I think they're
from Back to the
them.
Future too, man.
I was going to say, I want to say they went over to the Back to the Future set and asked Biff if they could borrow his hoverboard bikes. And his crew went, yeah, sure, take them. Yeah. And they brought them into the Star Wars universe so that we could have that. Because this chase was just as slow as Marty McFly on the hoverboard. Like, terrible.
Yeah.
It wasn't even meh. I'm at least okay watching meh. This was terrible.
That scene was pointless. It was filler for him to tell us that the Pikes, that he went and saw the Pikes. The mayor went to the Pikes. Oh my God, who gives a fuck? I'm sorry. I don't care.
Fennec moved faster chasing down the two assassins in the first episode than these bikes did.
Yes.
Like, we're a bike gang. Yeah, but you're riding tricycles. Like, I've seen
To be fair.
Again, I've seen old people at Disney in the Star Wars park move faster than these damn bikes.
Yeah. To be fair, I mean, they did establish their competence early. You know, when they went to go rescue Boba from it, he has a point-blank shot range to the head of the Wookiee, and he shoots the smallest part on his shoulder that's armor. And not only did he shoot once, he took three shots.
It's future stormtroopers in training, man. That's what they are.
God. I was like, are you serious?
No, the stormtrooper wouldn't have hit it all. The stormtrooper would have missed all three shots.
Right. Fair enough. Hey, but the new ones might. Okay, so last thing, and then we're gonna wrap up. Because I don't care about this show enough to talk any longer about it. So if you read the last book that Asajj was in, where she has this like love affair with one of these other fallen giant,
Kinlan Voss. Yeah.
Yep, with Voss, right? And it's this whole thing. They have a chase scene, right, in the book, right, where they're running through the market, and basically, at that point, she's like, fuck Quinlan Joss, fuck this guy, blah, 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 blah. And that scene, as pointless in the book as it was, and it was pretty pointless scene in the book, is more moving than these speeder bikes.
Nope. Period. You know what I wanted? And I'm not going to use a book. Nothing wrong with the book. But the book is in your head, right? What you see is in your head. The chase scene from Solo was better than this.
All right. Yep. Okay.
If you've already sold me a chase scene like that, I want that. I need that. That is a chase scene. Last episode, he rode down a train on a motorcycle. That is the level you have established. Don't give me kids on tricycles.
Yep.
Period.
Because there and here's the whole crux of it all. There is no ties. You don't feel any. I don't feel anything for any of these characters other than Fennec. Fennec's the only person, and I feel like she's caught in this like, I don't really want to be here, but you saved my life thing. Like, that's it.
I was the only people that I was emotionally invested in. There were two groups of people. One, the Gamorreans, because I always have been. I always feel like they are overlooked, and I feel like they play a much larger role whenever I played the Star Wars RPG, Gamorreans were badass. They were amazing. They're
My
the
Braxis.
orc of this universe. Secondly, the Tuskens. They died because of Boba's pride. Period. End of story. That's me.
That's true.
They're dead now.
Yep.
They're dead now. I have
Some of them
no
are
emotional attachment. No, the whole fucking thing is dead.
Now that camp was pretty small. That was a pretty
Right,
small
but
camp.
those are the ones I care about.
Okay,
I don't
all
give
right,
a shit
fair
about
enough,
the
fair enough.
17 other tribes that are on the other side of the Dune Sea that Boba has never interacted with. I was
That's
built
true.
around these guys. They built his staff. They did his thing. Oh, can I ask a question real quick? Maybe you guys saw something that I didn't. I know you want to close, Chris, and I'm sorry.
That's fine. Go ahead.
Why did we have to watch him burn a piece of fucking wood that he pulled out of his pocket? What the fuck did that have to do with anything at all?
You know, and what irks me more is that it was a 38-minute episode, and it's like there's just scenes in there that were added on there that just did not add to the story. And if you're going to give me a short episode like that, why? Like, make it an hour and add more substance to it than just those scenes.
Look, the Say No to Drugs episode of a 30-minute Saved by the Bell had more character development and emotional attachment than that episode of Boba Fett. That's all I got to say. I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't know. I agree. I was after episode 2, I was very hopeful. I'll be here's the deal. And this is a like normally I'll watch episodes 2 or 3 times. I did not get to watch the Wednesday episode till later that night because I worked all day and then I had shit at home that I had to deal with, and then we streamed, and then I watched it before bed. And I didn't know if I was just had too much alcohol or too much weed to process it. So I waited, and then on Friday I watched it again while I was working, and it didn't do anything for me, and I was like, all right, maybe I'm just not paying attention enough. So then again I watched it Friday night, and it still didn't do anything. Like, nothing came out of this. Like, I've watched this episode 3 times, and I'm just trying to give it a chance, and I'm sorry, I find it lacking. How about this? I am more invested in that fucking Wookiee and the Pike Syndicate than anybody else.
Yep.
And that should not be.
Let's call it, guys.
All right.
Hated it. It's terrible. Let's not waste any more time.
Ugh, I know. We could spend probably another half. Let's not. We could play games. We could do that. I'd rather play a game of X-Wing and murder JJ again with my droid swarm, than anything else.
Ooh.
I'm 5-1, 5-1, baby, against you. Anyway, all right. Thank you all for joining us. We'll be back next week with another Boba Fett recap for episode 4. And I will tell you right now, if it sucks, there will be 3 5-minute rants, and we're gonna cut it. And I just like
enough.
We're
I'll
gonna
have
talk
my
about
bullet points ready. I'll make a PowerPoint presentation.
And if
There
it's
you go.
good, 6-minute rants.
Yep.
All right.
6. Otherwise, we could talk High Republic. I'd rather talk High Republic than this. I'm sorry. I just would. Anyway,
All right.
Thank you. Have a good night. We'll see you we'll see you Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. for our community challenge. Have a good night, everyone.